welcome. Hi there, welcome. It's Sunday today. I know this is live and it'll record as a video and download, but it's Sunday, so happy Sunday if you're joining me. So what are we going to talk about today? Today is day 4 and we're going to talk about less procrastination and more action. So I'm delighted to be here again. Hope you've been watching the other videos. We are going to go over some of the content that we've covered in those because all of it is useful and pulls together as one whole. So let's look at less procrastination and more action to help you towards what you want in life, what you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have. So why do we procrastinate? Often good to start with a question. Think about that. Why do you procrastinate? So why do we procrastinate? Quite often it's because, well, sometimes obviously there's things we just genuinely don't want to do. As I said the other day, when you're lacking in motivation, some things are just not interesting to us. They're tasks that we have to do as part of normal life. And so it's understandable really that we put those things off. But actually there's some things in life that we really want to do, or there's maybe goals or dreams that we want to work towards that we just don't seem to be taking action towards. And we find ourselves in a bit of a cycle, saying we're starting something, maybe not even starting it, or starting it and then finding that we find an excuse and we go off somewhere else to do something else, or we find an avoidance technique, or we are distracted by something else. So why is that? Well, quite often it comes down to the fact that it's a change normally. When you're going to do something different, there's a change and it's unknown. And we tend to fear the unknown. We will start to think about what if, and we go into a bit of a state of panic, or what I described the other day as fight or flight or freeze. So how can you start working with that? So it brings me nicely back to goals that we did the other day. So when we did goals, you will remember that that really helps build your clarity and your focus and your motivation and your commitment towards something, because you've got real detail around what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Now that is one thing that is really, really helpful if you're finding that you procrastinate. So having really clear goals, and then we looked at making a really clear plan, a detailed plan with micro steps to success, can help you stop procrastinating. So that piece around micro steps is really important, because actually just taking one step, even one tiny step towards something that you want to do that you've been procrastinating over, can actually be the leap, or you getting over that first hurdle, or even a tiny bump in the road, depending on how you want to think about it. Normally means you're on the other side and you start to think differently, right? You start to realize actually it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's not as hard, or it's not as scary, or it's not as challenging. So actually having that clear goal, what is the outcome that you want? We talked about what are the benefits of getting it? What am I going to have? How am I going to feel? How great is it going to be when I've achieved this thing that I want to achieve? And then how am I going to get there? These micro steps to success. So all of that helps us stop procrastinate. But even when we know all of that, we still find ourselves procrastinating. Are you sitting there thinking, I've done all of that, and I'm still procrastinating? Well, that is quite often down to one thing, a very important thing that we cover throughout. I've talked about the Mensana Healthy Mind program that I run. It's a group coaching program. Through that, we work on this. We work on your mental barriers. We all have them. I have them. So the things that are stopping us in life, sometimes they're limiting beliefs, sometimes they're fears, sometimes they're things we've experienced in the past, and that frames how we feel and think and take action for our future. So mental barriers are huge. If you think about many people come to coaching for what they perceive to be a lack of confidence. That is a really big mental barrier. That in itself is probably a huge reason why people would procrastinate over something, because they feel like they don't have the confidence to achieve it. And I can help in 12 minutes to help raise your awareness around mental barriers and to just start to get you thinking about, what is it that's stopping me? What is stopping me? Why am I procrastinating? What is stopping me taking action? That in itself, as you think about the why, might just uncover some things that you can rationalize when you're sitting here in a calm state. Think about, is that reasonable that I am concerned about that, or I find that challenging, or I'm worried about that? You can start to work on these mental barriers straight away. But the reality is, if we've got to where we are in life and everything we've done till now has shaped who we are as a person, how we think, how we feel, our behaviours, it can take a little bit of time to shift that mental state to wherever you want it to be, to change behaviours, to change your thoughts, and to change your words. So that's something we definitely work on, either if you want to do one-to-one coaching, but certainly on the Mensana program as a group. It's a lovely interaction between up to 10 people at a time, where we look at, things like, how does our brain actually work? What is going on here? How do I perceive life? Because life is a perception and a whole load of assumptions, which then mount up to be these beliefs that we have, which actually, if we dig into them, quite often are never based on fact. They're just things we've become to believe that then shape everything for us in life, our choices, our actions, our behaviours. So what have we talked about so far? So we've talked about, why do we procrastinate and how do we avoid it? So we procrastinate because we're often fearful, it's change, it's something different, we resist change. But also, if we have a clear plan with a micro steps to success plan, a clear goal, with a micro success. What's happened to my words? Clear goals with a clear plan with micro steps to success. We are going to help move ourselves forward and stop procrastinating as much. But the other thing most of us need to work on is the mental barriers that are still stopping us taking action. So that brings me, I guess, to my third point today, which is action. Now, what's interesting about action is action in itself cures fear. So the moment you've taken action, as I said, the fear tends to dissipate and you are moving and you are going forwards. And typically, once we've started something, we do tend to finish it. So, taking action is all about how you're perceiving what's going to happen after the moment that you take action. So when you're sitting here and you might be procrastinating, you're starting to assume and think about what's going to happen after the moment you've taken action. You can't know that normally, what's going to happen. You build a mental picture up of what you think is going to happen, what you think you're going to feel, and so on. Now, you can think about that in two ways. You can think about it as a negative event, or you can think about it as a positive event. I know that might sound really simple, but it actually is that simple. If you change your words and you change your thoughts, it changes your behaviours. So if you really start to visualise, let's say you're procrastinating over something and you want to take action on it, think about a positive situation, the positive outcomes, the benefits, the great feeling you're going to feel when you've done or got this thing that you want to have in life, what you want to be or what you want to do or what you want to have. And suddenly, as I said the other day, your mind starts to want to work towards it for you as opposed to going away from it because it's in a state of fear. So positive words lead to positive thoughts, which lead to positive actions, and you'll find yourself procrastinating less when you've got that clarity and you focus on the positive possibilities of what will happen and what you will get and how you will feel when you've done this thing that you want to do. I think really that's everything from me today. This is a massive subject. Of course, I always say 12 minutes is never enough time to cover it in detail. In coaching, we tend to take between an hour and 90 minutes on subjects. And as I said, mental barriers don't always shift overnight. There is always a shift, but it is something that you quite often, including me, need to continue to work on your whole life. So I've really enjoyed today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow if you're going to join me live, or you can watch this video at another time. And of course you can follow me on Facebook, you can look at my videos now on YouTube as well, and it's just been lovely to spend time with you, and I hope it's helped you with procrastinating less. Okay, see you later.